You mentioned in one of the messages and during our conversations before is that you you spent a lot of your successful part of your career and journey kind of not feeling worthy or qualified to do positions that you have had an opportunity to do, right? So you're transforming yourself to become a victor. You're putting these positions that you're like, whoa, I'm in over my head. I don't feel qualified, or imposter syndrome. So how do you wrestle with that? And what can you teach us about that struggle with you? And is it still a struggle with you or for you?
No, I think it is. And one time I was interviewing, I was on the other side of the microphone interviewing a pastor who leads a church of like, I don't know, some 50,000 people a weekend. It's just somebody who's got a lot of influence, and not only in the faith community, but also in the secular community. And I asked him about that same question, and the imposter syndrome doesn't go away.
Okay.
For anybody who's listening in and you want to accomplish something in this world, you're always going to be stretching yourself right up to that limit where you feel like you're not qualified. So it's not like you get to a point where it goes away. Actually, the more you stretch yourself, it gets worse.
Okay.
Because you have more at risk, you have more at stake, and you feel like, oh my goodness, if I mess this up, you feel like you're not good enough, and it never goes away. And this is no secret to anyone listening in, is that we live in a comparison culture where we are exposed to everyone's highlight reel, whether it be on social media or somehow it's highlighted. But because of what we just talked about, the lack of vulnerability, the lack of rawness, the lack of realness, the lack of transparency, we're exposed to everyone's highlight reel and the best parts of their life. And so what we're doing is we know our reality. We know our highlight reel, but we also know our reality. We know how good we're not. We know our struggles. For me, for instance, I'm going to lead out some vulnerability right now. I may have a real eloquent answer, let's say in like 10 minutes. I'm just going to just crush a 90-second answer. Like, oh my goodness, he's so eloquent and smart. Folks, I got like a 5 on my SAT. Like literally, I got like a 5. I am so not smart. I know that about me. So I know my reality. I know everyone else's highlight reel. I don't know their reality. So immediately there's this gap, and it's how do you handle that? That gap is the imposter syndrome. That gap is feeling like you're not good enough. And so I just came to the realization that it's never going to go away. But I've got to get a firm identity, and this goes back to what you originally asked. For me, do I wrestle with it still? Less and less, and here's the reason why. I wrestle with it less and less because on the success side, you're always going to do. I just got done telling you that. It's going to continue. But on your identity side, you have to understand what is it that really subscribes value to you. For me, again, I keep going back to faith-based, and for me, I know who I am and I know whose I am. That's important to me. So therefore, I don't measure myself on accolades, on achievements. There's a great book out there called Halftime. I can't recommend it enough. I read that at 40. And at 40, I had this realization. Here's the summary of the book, and I hate to ruin it for everyone, but I'm going to. The gist of it is, and this is a gross oversimplification, but the first half of my life, it was all about achievement and accolades, okay, and success. The second half of my life, and this is where I'm going back to your question, how do you handle this imposter syndrome? I'm not about achievements and accolades anymore. And so it's not about success now, it's about significance. It's not about achievement and accolades. I want to leave a legacy. I want to leave I want to parent my children really well. I want to be able to listen to what they're saying and what they're not saying. I want to be a extremely good husband. I want to be a great friend. I want to be an empathetic leader. So I'm going after, like significance. I'm not going after like that next data boy. And that is the danger of my past that I talk about in the book, is that because I didn't have data boys as a kid, and a rejection and abandonment and multiple fathers walking out on us, and a mom that worked 3 jobs to make ends meet, and I came home to an empty house and didn't get any attaboys. It took me 20 years of adulthood to realize I was chasing attaboys.
Okay.
And chasing, hey, I'm proud of you. Hey, good job. Well done. That speech was amazing. That podcast was insane. 11 million downloads. Way to go. You're incredible. I was chasing that stuff. And now I'm not. And it's just a different season. So there's a 25-year-old listening in right now like, wait, I'm not supposed to have any ambition? No, there's seasons. Mm-hmm. I think there's reckless ambition where you're just recklessly going after more and more and more. Well, that is not a good lifestyle. You'll never find more. You're going to keep going and you're going to keep going and you're never going to find more. So I don't know. For me, I warn everybody against trying to measure yourself up against everyone else's highlight reel, trying to chase accolades and achievement, and going after more for more's sake. Going after more for a legacy or a deeper purpose, that's okay. But going after more just to find more, once you get there, the bullseye moves, and then there's more. And then there's more, and you know this. You've lived a while, and so you know this. But man, that person that right now you're finding yourself in reckless ambition, and you're just chasing and striving. I would just encourage you to take a 2-day hiatus and get away somewhere and just think about what really matters.
If you like this episode, check out the full podcast right here. If you want to see more videos, you need to check out right here. Remember, the most important person you're ever going to lead is you.